supposed to be looking at. Hi, everybody, and welcome to In the Now Season 2 in, of course, the brand new MyTCN TV network studio. And you know what? The interesting thing about going live and using social media live is there's always little things that happen that you have to adjust to. This year, I promise you, though, we'll be starting at 12. You know, I'm not going to be on the Caribbean time. I'm really going to be on like news time. And in saying that, we're going to go into some news today. And I will start by saying this. Last season, I did get into understanding media and propaganda and what the media does and the tricks that they pull. And I think, you know what, if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely go back and check out a lot of last season's things. But this season, I want to really focus on things that are happening, stories that we don't always hear about. Of course, some feel good. Of course, some gossip. This season, I'm even doing some gossip. I'm even touching on sports a little bit this season. I mean, like, I want to do things that, of course, obviously show the good things that are happening in our community, but as well expose some of the things that we need to think about and not just like react to it emotionally, but really think about it. Okay, so again, this season's going to be a little bit different. And you know what? I do want your feedback and your comments. So please, throughout the show, when you do watch it afterwards, maybe in a retake, make some comments, criticize constructively. Give us some of your input on some of these topics. Also, please feel free to send me topics. If you think there's something interesting or if there's something that I missed in my reporting, add it in there. I'm not afraid of getting new information. New information makes, of course, my knowledge base stronger, and I can share that with other people, so it's a wonderful thing. Now, there's a lot going on in the States this week. We all hear about what's happening with these children being detained and Trump. And again, you guys, if you are interested, look past what you see and realize that there's a lot more going on there. I'm not spending any time on it because I refuse to. Like, as soon as I saw some of that news that came up in my feed and I wanted to report, I said, nah, not doing it. I'm going to take a look at some other things that are going on, some things for us to take a look at and feel grateful for. For example, my very first story is about what's happening on the Ivory Coast. Has anyone heard what's happening on the Ivory Coast? No? Okay, so at least 18 people have been killed as flash floods raged through parts of Ivory Coast's major urban center. And that's happened, I think this happened on the Monday. So, of course, just a little bit of background. June is usually the wettest month in Abidjan, which is the main, the urban center of the Ivory Coast, with an average monthly rainfall of just under 500 millimeters. So, still a lot of rain, enough to cause floods. Many parts of the city are vulnerable to flooding. A coastal city of 5 million a coastal city of about 5 million people is what they said. So they suffer from some severe infrastructure problems, mainly because the city's growth has risen dramatically. They're one of the most populated, they're one of the most populated of all of the African countries right now. So Abidjan is the fourth most populous city in Africa, okay? So there's a lot of people. What's happening? These people are moving, obviously, to certain parts of the city because of this flooding, and they don't have the infrastructure to support it. So, of course, when these floods come, they're raging. So 18 people have died, guys, so far in this. And again, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I found this picture, and I was like, okay, this is, like, pretty devastating, but this is what's happening elsewhere in the world. Why we need to be very grateful for what we do have. According to the country's interior minister, Sidiki Diakité, 18 people died on Monday as flash floods raged through parts of the city, reaching a depth of 2.5 meters in some places. To other people, of course, other people were reported missing, and of course, more reports continue to come in. Survivors told of people perched on the top of their roofs, actually like watching things flow by. So I have a couple of videos I want to show you just so you can kind of get an idea of what's happening there, what these people are going through. Very first video, the Abidjan floods.
At least 7 people have died between Wednesday and Thursday following floods that have soaked the Ivorian capital, Abidjan. Ivorian firefighters said on Friday that the deaths were mainly caused by collapsing walls following the heavy rains that pounded the capital. According to the commander of the fire brigade, several dozen people have been evacuated from their homes following the intense downpour that has also caused extensive damage in several neighborhoods. We are very worried. When it rains, we are frankly afraid. At the moment, we have 9 families sleeping out in the rains. Here, they have no shelter to spend the night. So, we sincerely want the government to look into this case of the destitute who are there. Heavy rains are common during this time of the year in Ivory Coast. In 2016, they claimed the lives of 16 people, while in 2014, 39 people died.
On Thursday, the government called the evacuation of all people living in the flood prone areas. So, of course, I had to do a little bit of digging to see because there's so much attention happening, what's going on over here in North America. With this happening, with all the other things that could be happening around the world, I kind of wanted to see what was being done for the people of the Ivory Coast. So, United Nations operation in Cote d'Ivoire, there's been no aid reported at all. And I searched in a lot of different sources to see if there was anything happening with them. And they're supposed to be in there helping these people. The last time they were in there was 2016. They had another mass flooding, and now it's 2018. And there's been no aid reported since Monday. And again, you're seeing people are dying. The U.S., so I checked to see, you know what, let's see if the U.S. has been doing something to maybe help, you know, with what's going on over there. And I found out some things just to figure I would share with you guys. The U.S. has shared a bilateral economic relations with the Ivory Coast, and the amount of U.S. imports grew from 384 million in 2000 to 1.163 million in 2016. This is just one of the ways the U.S. benefits from the Ivory Coast, okay? And I'm just saying that to say, okay, with all of this happening, with this bilateral economic relation that they have, there must be something set in line for them somewhere. Well, again, I searched. I found nothing. So currently, unless there's something I know, and again, this is for people, if you guys know of any aids that have been set up, and I mean, I know there might be some things outside of the government. I think maybe community members might be doing things, but I was looking for more so what was happening within the government and, of course, across the world to help people in the Ivory Coast, and I didn't see anything. So, oh, goodness. All right. Guys, again, send in any reports, send in any comments if you have any about this situation. If you hear of any place that they do have aid, please let us know so that we can at least put that up. That'd be really nice for us to do that, of course, because we're aware of it now. I'm aware of it, so it's just a matter of me now putting it out and hopefully getting some type of impact or, some type of engagement with you, and we can get some help for them there, all right? So important things happening in the world outside, of course, of Canada. So let's move on to something a little bit feel good. And you know what? I'll hold on that. But one thing I do want to say is that with all the negative in this world, we have to find some way to throw in some positive. So I'm hoping that this next story, when we come back, we'll maybe do that for you. We'll see you guys soon.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Season 2 of In the Now. and I'm so happy if you are joining us. This season, again, we're going to be doing things a little bit different. Last season, I really focused on everyone understanding the importance of digging a little bit deeper into your research. So this season, I want to just deliver some things. And again, if you're interested in it, then you can dig some more. So just finished doing in my last segment, we were just talking about the flooding that's happening in the Ivory Coast. If you are interested in that topic, definitely go back to the last segment and watch that. And as I promised, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a feel-good report right now because I saw this and I thought it was interesting. So story 2 is about a mute teen who became a rapper. So just hearing that topic, it's like, okay, if you're mute, how can you rap? So the great thing about this story is it again shows the strength of human will and what you're willing to do if you really want to do something. So Isaiah Acosta was born with situs inversus, which meant all his major organs were in the wrong place. And he hadn't developed a jawbone, so he was not born with a mouth. His mother, Tara Acosta, was told his life expectancy would be limited and he would be bedbound. So from the time he was born, the doctors had already said, like, this child is just not going to have a quality life. So despite doctors' predictions, Isaiah survived and he is able to walk. He uses medical machinery to get food and oxygen, and he's unable to speak, but he's gone on to fulfill one of his dreams, which was to become a rapper. With the help of Children's Miracle Network hospitals and a musician named Trap House. So I have a small video just showing you a little bit about this brilliant young man, Isaiah Acosta.
They did tell us that Isaiah's life would be bedbound and he would be blind and deaf and not be able to walk. And he survived.
I don't care what people think of me. Pride and honor that they carry me. Jaw gone where I love myself. Like a lion to my family. Heart big through a tragedy. I don't care what the people say. I don't ever say can't or won't. Had a dream I rapped the other day. Just accept me for my differences. Everybody gonna hear my voice.
Definitely emotional experience for the simple fact that you never would imagine that you'll play such a instrumental part in something so big and so unique. You know, to be someone's actual voice, it made it all the more unique.
Right next to the Drakes and the Jay-Z's like a movie, but you gotta feel me.
I really, really, really liked this story. Like, we were just talking there. I went and checked. I actually followed him on Instagram. I did. And he has 20.6K followers. This young man is, and this is someone who the doctor said would never get out of his bed. So again, put some things in perspective for you. So he has never tasted food and he is mute, but he communicates through sign language, gestures, and primarily, thank God to technology, he can use his phone. So his mother says that he's not scared to be rejected. There was a video, I guess, that was featuring her son, and she was in it speaking about him. And he has been offered a cosmetic jaw, and this young man actually turned it down. So he was offered an opportunity to have a jaw put on, and he said no because he said this is who he is. This is how he was born. So rapper Trap House tells Acosta all the time, and that's the young man who's actually helping put his words out. You should always rise to be able to do what you want, and never let the opinions of others hold you back from achieving your goals. So if you want, you can follow Isaiah at Isaiah Acosta at XVX_6 on Instagram. Very inspiring, man. He's always putting things up too. Like he seems interactive with his followers. So that's kind of cool too. So really nice feel-good story. I like that. Really cool. Family, support, community. Again, all those things, when those things come together, you can see it's a wonderful thing. So now let's come back to Toronto. Toronto, guys, we all know that it is Pride Month and it's the end of the month, which means Pride Parade. It is Pride Weekend, everybody. The first weekend of summer is going to bring rain and probably some cooler temperatures. But regardless of the weather, Pride festivities will bring rays of sunshine to the city, topped off with the parade on Sunday. So Pride Month will come to, hold on. Oh, wow. I just figured out how to use Dave's computer. Dave, I'm an expert now. I did it. I thought I was going to panic for a second. I lost all my information, but I didn't. So Pride Month will come to a close this weekend in the most spectacular way. One of the highlights being the parade on Sunday that we know about. Ahead of the Pride Parade, 2 marches and a street fair will round up the festivities. So this is a quote from an article in, I think it was the Sun. Pride Parade is not only about pride in Toronto's LGBTIQQ2SA, and I'm going to explain that. Because when I first saw that, I thought it was only half of these letters. What do all these extra letters mean? So I'm going to tell you what they mean. It's about celebrating diversity and the variety of life in Toronto while respecting differences amongst its citizens and visitors and creating an inclusive experience for all. So let me explain what LGBTIQQ2SA means. It stands for, are we ready? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, transsexual, interested, queer, questioning sexuality, that's what it means, two-spirited, allies of the LGBTIQQSA community. See? You learn something new every day, everybody. I thought it was half of that. So when I found this today, I was like, I've got to share that because there's that list has gotten a lot longer in the last, I think 2 years, because it wasn't like that maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So the grand finale is on Sunday with the Pride Parade starting at 2:00 p.m. The parade starts at Church and Bloor Street and makes the way to Yonge and Dundas Square. This year, the parade will have a little bit more of a somber tone, honoring the victims of the alleged serial killer, Bruce McArthur. So again, more details on him. I don't have time to go into it, but definitely if you're interested in hearing what happened there, look that up. Also, there was something on Andrew Kinsman, and they said the organizers really want to focus on this Until We're Safe March, which will be led by organizers and volunteers wearing black. As the march makes its way down, so Until We Are Safe means that there's a lot going on in the gay community right now, and a lot of them people are not feeling safe. Things are happening. People are being killed. People are being kidnapped. So there's some serious things going on this year, and the Pride community wants to stand together. And this is why this year, you know what? It's one of those things where it's like a life is a life, and a lot of people are seeing it like this. When I come back, what I will do is I will do a quick run through of some of the closures, because I think that's kind of important for people driving around the city, because it's going to be busy and you want to be stuck anywhere. I'll give you as much as I can. Back on In the Now. Welcome back to In the Now. Honestly, working here at my TCN TV network is one of my greatest experiences because it's never a dull moment. Every now and then I just get a little bit of information that I have to share, but anyhow, I'm not going to share this one. It's just funny. So, road closures. I'm going to go through these quickly because I do have a couple other stories that I really want to get to you guys today. So, starting on Friday, all right, the Pride Street Fair, that's Church Street from Dundas to Bloor Streets, will be closed from the north side of Dundas Street East to the south side of Hayden Street from 10 a.m. on Friday to 6 a.m. on Monday. Wellesley. I always make a mistake with this damn street. From Young to Jarvis streets will be closed at that time, okay? There's a few other ones. If you go to 680 online, they actually show most of these road closures. I'm going to give one for each day, the bigger ones. So starting on Saturday, which is going to be really the hectic day, there's the Pride and Remembrance Run. And that's also, Wellesley will be closed, Jarvis Street, Queens Park, Crescent East, Queens Park, Crescent West, between College and Bloor Streets will be closed from 8:30 till noon on the Saturday. The Pride Dyke March, the march on Saturday starts at Church and Hayden Streets and heads north to Bloor Street East, west on Bloor Street East, south on Young Street, and east on Carlton Street to Allen Gardens. So honestly, if you can avoid downtown this weekend, unless, again, you are wanting to be part of the festivities, if you don't have any reason to be down there, don't go, because you're just going to get frustrated. What happened? Don't even bother. Yeah, like, don't even bother trying to get downtown. Like, I'm just going to look at Sunday. Sunday, for example, the parade starts on Sunday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., and it starts at Church Street and Bloor Street East, heads west on Bloor Street East, south on Young Street, and then east on Dundas Street East to Victoria Street. Rosedale Valley Road between Park Road and Bayview Avenue will be closed from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Several roads in the area will also be closed from noon till 7. If you are going down there even to participate in the activities, I would suggest park at a train station and train it in. It's going to be way too hectic downtown. It's not worth it. Kensington Market should be popping, though. That might be kind of fun, you know, see what's going on downtown. But even then, parts of Kensington Avenue, Augusta Avenue, and Baldwin Street will be closed from noon till 10:30 on Sunday. So take a train, take a bus, don't drive. All right, so really quick, important topic that I want to talk about. Mental health, again, I did a small video myself yesterday on mental health. This topic has almost become, I don't want to say a fad, but I do want to say that there are certain topics, there's certain things about mental health that need to be explored, and people need to be educated, not diagnosed. People need to understand why they might be feeling the way they're feeling, because sometimes when you are feeling like this, you feel very alone. So it's hard to really describe or go to talk to someone, because again, no one wants to be called crazy, right? But it's important that education is given to patients, education is given to people in the community, so that when they identify certain things, they can say, okay, it's a better understanding of self. So schizophrenia is a huge topic. It shares some genetic variants, and this is something that's just been discovered with several psychiatric conditions. And similar overlaps are seen for personality traits and for people who have migraines. So one of the biggest things they found, and this story was written by Emily Willingham in the Scientific America, you can actually find this online, is that lower academic achievement in early age is actually tied to the same gene as an increased risk for Alzheimer's in the older age. So this is something now people are starting to look at the genetics, the biology of mental health disorders. So bipolar disorder. According to the findings published June 22nd in Science, conditions such as schizophrenia, major depressive disorder, and bipolar disorder share a suite of overlapping genetic variants rather than having distinct genetic signatures. So I wanted to show a really quick video about, and it's, you know what, sometimes it's these videos that are powerful, about a young woman who realized that her life wasn't going the way it should be, and she decided to dig back into her genetic past, and she found out that she had bipolar disorder. This could be happening to anyone. Pay attention to this.
Hey guys, it's Hannah. Now and then, bipolar treatment. Well, when I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, nobody had any idea who that gene got passed down from. My parents are completely stable, emotionally stable and grounded, and none of my close relatives showed any signs of a mental health condition. And so a couple years after my treatment, I started to dig a little deeper and basically found out that it was my grandmother, who I never met, and she was from England, a brilliant woman, and my dad said she used to capture a room, but as years went by, she was in and out of their lives, and those symptoms of bipolar disorder really kind of consumed her. She died alone at the end of her life because she had, you know, rejected so many people because she was so sick that nobody was around anymore. And she really struggled with bipolar disorder. So when I look back on it, being that I didn't meet her, it's like I face stigma now. As a millennial in 2017, I mean, we all do. So I couldn't imagine what it was like.
So in addition to the genetic links between educational attainment and Alzheimer's risk, the result links neuroticism to anorexia nervosa, anxiety disorders, MDD, and obsessive compulsive disorders. Believe me when I say I am going to delve into all of these topics because it's time that we really explore what's happening. As some of you may know, depending on your life stresses, socioeconomic status, and home environment, these genes can become active and you may not even know that they're active. So researchers from 600 plus institutions worldwide, grouped into 25 consortia, pooled their genomic data for the effort, and they dubbed it the Brainstorm Consortium. Their goal was to probe the immense data set for links among gene variants, brain disorders, and physical and cognitive traits. So they're trying to put together everything. Why are some of these disorders manifesting in some people and not others? So one of the big messages is that psychiatric disorders turned out to be very connected on the genetic level. So standing out from this crowd at the end of the shared variant spectrum was schizophrenia, which overlapped with all of the psychiatric disorders that I spoke about earlier, except anxiety. There's only one disorder that's kind of not associated with these, and that's PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, or as some of the people who are before us may know it, initially called shell shock. That's not really genetic. They said it's not a strong genetic tie. That usually does have to do with a trauma or an experience. So when it comes to mental health, you know what, honestly, it's important that we do know and understand what is happening to us so we don't feel alone. These labels do not have to define you, but to understand what's happening to you, sometimes these labels are good just so they can categorize information so that there's an understanding to why you may think the way you think, why you may act the way you act, why you may feel the way you feel. And it's important that you know for yourself so that you can live a productive life. When we come back, we're gonna do some real quick, like, gossipy stuff, like some music news. And guess what? I might even have the NBA top 10 picks. Yeah, me and sports. Who knew? See you guys soon.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
I have to sometimes figure out what camera I'm looking at. Anyhow. Welcome back to In the Now, guys. Oh, there's always something happening here at the network. I don't know what it is. Hi, Grant. Grant just walked into the room. Hi, Grant. How are you? It's okay. So I got some music news for you guys. I got some gossip. You might as well just stay in here now, Grant. Don't go nowhere. You might as well just stay and take in the news. Jeez. All right. So this is for Grant. Freeway. Do you guys remember Freeway? Grant, you remember Freeway? Look at him. I can't remember the song. I don't want to float it because I don't want to mess it up and make this look real, real bad. Anyhow, he used to be with Rockefeller Records, and he just returns with his new album, his new LP, Think Free. So following a storied career at Rockefeller Records, Philly Freeza has reunited, Philly Freeza, I didn't realize that was his name, has reunited with Jay-Z at the Rock Nation to drop a 13-track album titled Think Free. The new LP features contributions from Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi Vert, Jada Kiss, Fat Joe, I'm sorry, Faith Evans, and BJ, the Chicago kid. I guess I need to get on top of like some of these people, like little Uzi Vert. Okay, didn't know. Anyhow, so beef. What's happening? Beef. So besides the whole like Drake, what is it, Drake and Pusha T thing? I don't know what's going on with that. Like I think it's done now. No, it's still happening. Anyhow, well, Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj. So I have to like, you know what? Honestly, why are you doing these, Simone? Because you know what? I just am. They're fun. These things are hilarious sometimes. Sometimes we need to take a break from all the harsh stuff because sometimes things are really heavy. So, little Kim and Nicki Minaj, I always thought they were one and the same, to be honest with you. But apparently, our girl from our days, Lil Kim, has been throwing some shade at Nicki, and she's showing more love for Cardi B. Really and truly, Grant's dying of laughter here. But really and truly, this long-standing beef that seemingly started from Kim thinking Nicki's copied her, which if you look at some of those pictures, kind of looks like she has. The Magic Stick rapper recently chatted with Entertainment Tonight while at Paris Hilton's Boho official launch party in West Hollywood. When asked about Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, Kim had this to say. You know, Cardi B is my girl. I don't know the other one, obviously throwing shade. This is just how women are. This is the industry. I don't know if anyone's noticing, though, something, that Lil Kim does not look like Lil Kim. Do you guys remember Lil Kim? She was so cute. This is what happens in North America. This is America. This is what happens. She was once an African, beautiful woman. And now, so she looks like LaToya Jackson. She just looks like one of the Jackson. That's crazy. So anyhow, Kim has publicly expressed her distaste for Nicki on Black Friday, and Nicki fired back with songs such as Stupid Hoe, I'm Your Leader, and Roman's Revenge that are all seemingly about Kim. Like, just the foolishness, but it's fun. Like, I just think this is funny because I'm just like, you know what? There has to be, I think God really created like jesters, people that we are supposed to just laugh at. And these are them, you know, makes life light. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about today is, you know what? I did this one for my what would I call him? Co-producer, my assistant, Rankin, because he assists me on the show. So all like last night, I think the night before, this man was staring at his phone and apparently he said he was looking at NBA draft picks. I'm just like, do guys really do this? Do you guys, does this mean that much? Does this? So I guess it does. So I'm sure he already knows these. What's the problem? I'm sure he already knows these. But here are some of the picks for round one, okay? And I know they were saying that some people were traded. So again, if you have a comment, if you know something more than I do. But if not, I have Dave here, and he's on his phone right now probably looking to see if I'm right. So isn't that a great picture? Look at them. Look at all these beautiful men. Okay, so Phoenix Suns. So the big man, DeAndre, is it Ayton? Did I say that correctly, Dave? Yes. Sacramento Kings, Marvin Bagley III. Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. I didn't say donkey. I said it. I don't know if I said it right. I mean, so the Memphis Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr. See, that's a name I can say. Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young. Orlando Magic, Mohamed Bamba. Chicago Bulls, Wendell Carter Jr. Cleveland Cavaliers, Colin Sexton. New York Knicks, Kevin Knox. And the Philadelphia 76ers, Mikal Bridges. So, congratulations to these young men. Dave, did I miss anybody out?
No, that's good. I like Atlanta's pick. Trae Young's going to be a good fit for them.
Apparently, Trae Young is going to be a good fit for Atlanta Hawks. Anything else, Dave?
The first pick, he's nasty.
And the first pick apparently is nasty. So you see what, guys? I got you guys covered for ball season. When ball season starts, I can just get my information from Dave. I want to thank everybody. And you know what? We did have some events, but you know what? I do want to say this before we end the show today. Another thing I do want to say is that we will be doing a lot of community outreach on the show. So this is event season. I know a lot of people are throwing events. I know a lot of people are throwing parties. I know there's a lot of festivals and carnivals and things happening with Caravana coming up. So if you would like to advertise, please feel free to email me and I can give you all of the information at Simone@Carib1. I was going to spell it out, but you can spell Simone. Simone at Carib1. Oh, wait, it's there, eh? It's right there. I forgot. Listen, this is all fancy for me and still new, you know. So Simone@Carib101.com. You can send me your information. I'll get back to you and we can talk about how we can, you know, either one, have you on here beside me talking about your event, or you can just send me your event and I can talk about it. So there's a lot of different ways that we can work as a community. I also want to encourage you to share the shows, share the stories with people you think it can touch, people you think will resonate with them. Please, comments. I want your comments. I want your likes. Please like and share this. Share my TCN TV out. Also, we have a lot of great shows this year. Honestly, this season is going to be fantastic. We have things for everybody across the board. We're continuing to grow. And I'll even say this. I challenge people out there, anyone out there who's interested in having a show on my TCN TV, please feel free. Grant would love to hear from you guys. He wants to see everyone in the community working together, coming together. So definitely get in contact with him. I believe it's Grant@Carib101.com. Correct, Grant? Yeah. So listen, we're going to grow together as a community. We're going to be able to provide programming for you guys that is sometimes feel good, sometimes funny, sometimes serious, sometimes controversial. But we do it for you. Community, you have a wonderful Friday. Please be safe. Again, if you're going down, don't go downtown if you are going to town for the Pride festivities, take the bus. Do not drive down there. It's going to be way too hectic. Check on your road closures and have a wonderful Friday afternoon. And we will see you next week on In the Now. Stay tuned for Alyssa's show, Real Talk, coming on right after this. See you guys soon.